Hello guys, welcome to your channel Mathematics Warehouse. Today we have a revision worksheet. First question, what is the distance between the bank and Marley's house on the map? Marley's house can be represented by the location 3 and 6, and the bank can be represented by the location -8 and 6. Now we have to calculate the distance between 2 points, -8 and 6, and 3 and 6. We have here -8 and 3 have different sign, so we gonna add their absolute values. So it will be -8 plus 3 absolute values. So here it will be 8 plus 3 equals 11. So the choice will be second choice, 11 units. Second question, find the distance between the pair of points -3 and -6 and -3 and 1. As you can see, -3 is a fixed coordinate, so we have -6 and 1. Both have different sign, so we're gonna add their absolute values. It will be absolute value of -6 plus absolute value of 1, which is 6 plus 1 equals 7 units. Next, the map showed the beach area on a coordinate plane. Find the distance from the car to the cabana and then from the cabana to the beach. As you can notice here, the beach on 2 and 1 and cabana on -4 and 1 and the car on -4 and 4. First, we have to calculate the distance between car and cabana, which is the distance between 2 points, -4 and 4 and -4 and 1. Here we have -4 is fixed, so we're gonna calculate the distance between 4 and 1, which have the same sign. So we're gonna subtract their absolute values. So it will be absolute value of 4 minus absolute value of 1, which is 3 units. Then you're gonna calculate the distance between cabana and beach, which is -4 and 1 and 2 and 1. 1 is fixed, so we're gonna calculate the distance between -4 and 2, which have different signs, so we're gonna add their absolute values. So it will be absolute value of 4 plus absolute value of 2, which is 4 plus 2 equals 6 units. So total now 3 units plus 6 units equals 9 units. Next question. What is the perimeter of rectangle JKLM with vertices J, -1 and 3, K, 2 and 3, L, 2 and -5, and M, -1 and -5? If you're gonna calculate the perimeter, you have to find at least 2 sides lengths, which are JK and KL. For JK, you have J and K, 2 points. 3 is fixed coordinate, so we're gonna calculate the distance between -1 and 2, which have different sign. So we're gonna add their absolute values. So it will be -1 plus absolute value of 2, which is 1 plus 2 equals 3 units. Now we have two sides of 3 units. For KL, we're gonna calculate the distance between 3 and -5, which have different sign. So we're gonna add the absolute value of both. So it will be absolute value of 3 plus absolute value of -5, which is 3 plus 5 equals 8 units. Because the property of a rectangle that each two opposite sides are equal in length. So now we have the perimeter 3 plus 8 plus 3 plus 8, which is 22 units. Next question, find the perimeter of this figure. As you know, perimeter of any figure is the sum of its sides lengths. So we're gonna calculate each side length in the figure. First side, this one, you have here 3, you have here -8, different sign, so it will be absolute value. So it will be the sum of absolute value of both points. So it will be 8 plus 3, which is 11. Here you have 8 and 2 have the same sign, so it will be absolute value of 8 minus absolute value of 2, which is 8 minus 2, which is 6. Here we have -1 and -8 have the same sign, so we're gonna subtract absolute value of -8 minus absolute value of -1, which is 8 minus 1 equals 7. And here we have 2 and -7, which have different sign, so it will be absolute value of 7 plus absolute value of 2, which is 9. And here 3 and -1, which have different sign, so it will be absolute value of 3 plus absolute value of -1, it will be 4. And here we have -7 and 8, which have different sign, so it will be absolute value of 7 plus absolute value of 8, which is 15. Now the perimeter equals 11 plus 6 plus 7 plus 9 plus 4 plus 15. So the perimeter equals 52 units. Next question. Faisal drew a rectangle with a perimeter of 18 units on a coordinate grid. Two of the vertices were 4 and -3 and -1 and 3 and -1 and -3. What could be the coordinates of the other two vertices of the rectangle? Here, if we calculate the distance between these two vertices, it will be 4 and -1 have different sign, so we're gonna add the absolute value of both. So it will be 4 plus 1 equals 5 units. It means we have two sides of 5 units, which is total 10. So the other two sides will be 8 because all the perimeter is 18. So here it's 4 and here it's 4. Now we're gonna search about the vertices which give me the distance 4. For first one, you have 4 and 12, and here 4 and -1. So 3 will be added to 12 because they are in different sign, so it gives you 15. which is not 4. Second one, you have negative 1 and 1, and here negative 1 and negative 3. So it will be 1 plus 3 equals 4. Let us make sure by the other vertices. Here 4 and 4, here 1 and negative 3, so it will be 4 as well. So the answer will be second choice. Next, use the drop-down menu to write the rule to fit the pattern for this table. Here we have A and B, two variables, and here we have relation between both of them. For first one, 0 and 0, we cannot know which operation was happened. But for second one, you have 1 and 5. Maybe we add 4 or we multiplied by 5. Let us check. By second one, 2 and 10, if you add 4, it will be 6, not 10. But if you multiply by 5, it will be right. So the rule here is B equals 5A. We name B dependent variable and A independent variable. Next question. Write the equations that fit the pattern in the table. You have here 33 and now 16. There is no number if you divide 33 with gives you 16. So maybe it's subtraction. Let us see how much did we subtract. 33 minus 16 equals 17. Let us make sure if we subtract 17 from 39 will give us 22 or no. 39 minus 17, it gives us 22. So the rule here, y equals x minus 17. This is the rule. Next, Bob has a total of 60 adventure cards for a game. The table shows the number of cards C distributed to P players. Write the equation that describes the pattern in the table. The relation here cannot be addition or multiplication because C is decreasing. So we have subtraction or division. Let us use 60 because total number of cards is 60. If you divide 60 by 2, it will be 30. If you divide 60 by 3, it will be 20. If you divide 60 by 4, it will be 15. So the rule C equals 60 divided by B. Next question. The table shows the total cost C for the number of box lunches purchased B. Use the pattern in the table to find the cost of 6 boxes. Of 6 box lunches. Here you have number of box 3 and here 23.25. What happened? Maybe it's multiplied by a number because here 9 and gives you 69.75. Let us divide and test this number. 23.25 divided by 3, here 7, 21, 2 point up and 2 down gives you 7, 21, 1, 5 down equals 5. So the number is 7.75. Let us multiply it by 9 and see if it gives us 69.75. So 7.75 times 9. 9 times 9 equals 45. 4 and 5 and are 4. 9 times 7 equals 63 and we have 4. So to be 67. 7 and carry up 6. 9 times 7 63, and we have 69, two places here and here two places, so the answer is right. So now the rule C equals B multiplied by 7.75. C equals 7.75B. So now you have to multiply 6 by 7.75 equals 30, 42, 42. So it will be 46.5. Next question. Use the equation to complete the table. Y equals 3x plus 2. So you're gonna substitute with the value of 3 instead of x. So it will be 3 times 3 equals 9 plus 2 equals 11. And 4, it will be 3 times 4 equals 12 plus 2 equals 14.